Well. Welcome in, you filthy animals. You know what time it is? It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, we're live, baby. And make sure to Spartan kick that like button on the way in. Do it for me. Let YouTube know that we're live, especially if you're part of the replay gang. If you're on the replay, shout it out in the comment section. If you guys are live, let me know in the live stream what was in your pocket today. And if you're part of the Only Spartans Discord, pop a picture in there. Let us know. Let the good people know what you were carrying. What did I carry? Bam. This guy right here, Spyderco Sage 6. This is the S90V sprint run version with the full titanium handle scales. Yes, it has peel ply texture on it. I know. I know. Spyderco says that it's solid carbon fiber with some peel ply texture. Good enough for me. Solid carbon. It's good enough for me. Anyways, guys, for those of you out there who have a Sage 6, two things that I highly recommend doing. First thing is go to Lynch Northwest, pick up one of these new wire clip replacements. I think that it looks great. Absolutely. So much better than the wire clip. Some people disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Wire clips continue to exist on knives because some people actually like them. Personal preference being what it is. I don't know why, but some people really do. And I was thinking about that today as I was carrying this guy. I said to myself, wire clips have a following, but it's not a very big following. What about other design choices? At one point in time, I was considering doing a video on the worst knife design choices or the least popular knife design choices. And that video, I recorded it several times. I didn't like the takes. And so I just let the idea, go back to its dusty, musty corner of darkness in the recesses of my brain. But I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the least popular knife design choices. And there's a few. I'm going to go ahead and start a poll in the chat. You guys know how I like polls. We're going to go ahead and get it started. So here's the poll. Which knife design choice do you least like? First option is going to be speed holes. There's something about speed holes. Some people are like, yeah, speed holes, it's totally fine. Depending upon the design and the execution, yeah. And some people are like, I hate them with every fiber of my being. I don't get it. Like, the people that dislike speed holes really, really dislike speed holes. And I haven't figured out what causes that level of vitriol. That's a good word, vitriol. Speed holes. Second is I got to put wire clips on here. Wire clips, I hate them. And a lot of people also hate them. I would venture to say that the majority of people do not like wire clips. There's probably a good amount of people like, don't care. And then they're like, I hate them. Wire clips ruin a really good premium knife design, and I'll stand by that. There's nothing worse than being like, oh, look at the curvature of the handle skills, the contouring, the anodization. Oh, it looks so good. Bam, paper clip. It's like, just mail it in on the freaking pocket clip. It bothers me. The next one is going to be full serration. Yeah, full serration. Some people really hate full serration. For me, I prefer a plain edge because I know I can sharpen a plain edge. Some people have the tools and the capability to sharpen serrations. I am not one of those people. We're going to throw it on there. Lastly, the fourth option is going to be Persian style blade, or the opposite of Persian style blade, which is going to be a recurve Hawks bill. These are often the same. These are often the same people. The same people that hate Persian style blades are the same people that hate recurve Hawks bills. So we'll just do recurve blade. And yes, I know that they are completely different blade shapes, but I'm telling you, it's the same crowd. It's the same crowd. Watch, someone in the chat's going to prove me wrong here in a second. But there it is, guys. Vote for your least favorite knife design choice. Speed holes, wire clips, full serration, or Persian style / recurve blade. Go. It's in the chat. Let's go ahead and say hi to some good people in the chat. Now, by the time I pop in here, sometimes I see the first person that posted in the chat. Sometimes I don't. I'm just going to call it out in the order that I see it. What's up, Vivelsky? Welcome into Henry G, Bluetooth Blades, Marco, Stonewall, Lone Star, Cowboy. We got Cat, Scratch, Ground, Fog, B Shady. Hey, here's a legend. Top Dog. What's up, Top Dog?
This is Sparta!
Spartan, kick the like button one time for one of the oldest, if not the oldest, existing channel member for the channel. Top Dog, it's good to see you, man. He says, can I hang in for another 2 hours? I hope so. If you posted that comment a couple hours ago, I hope you're still here. It's always good to see you, man. Channel mod, channel member, all around knife community legend. If you didn't know, now you know. What's up, Wicked Dream Designs Warrior Guild? Another legend in the house. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel mod. Did I say hi to Marco? What's up, Marco? Ed B in the house. He says, is this the live stream about uninspired round? Look, I don't think most people have a problem with Spyderco's deployment hole. I don't see it. That might be one of those things that just personally you dislike. I don't think that it's a popular dislike though, in general. Jim says, I'm eating, consider yourself tagged. Ed says, I wouldn't want to steal Roll's thunder when he proclaims he really hates Spyderco's uninspired round holes. I've got way too many Spydercos to ever claim that. And that's just the truth. I love Spyderco's. Carried one today. There it is, guys. The deployment hole works really well. You know what I like about the deployment hole? I like the fact that unlike a thumb stud, it never gets in the way of sharpening. It doesn't get in the way of the cutting path. So it actually does have an advantage. It keeps the blade more slender with less things. Now, I don't have anything against thumb studs either, but that is one of those things that a thumb stud is just one more piece that could get in the cutting path of your blade. It could also, keep you from being able to fully sharpen it. Some thumb studs you can take off, some you can't. So the deployment hole, in my opinion, is not a bad design choice. It completely makes sense. Greg McCutcheon, what's up, man? B Shady says the best time of the week. Evening, man. Good to see you, dude. Welcome in. Ace Palone in the house. Stephen Fletcher says, I like the music. Good evening, everyone. Wow, that's a first. Most of the time, people are bagging on my music tastes. I don't know. Listen, I pay for a service that gives me a list of music that I can use, copyright free, and they're fully produced songs by I won't say, I guess they're musicians, but they're like people that make music. Anyways, I still need to sit down and get another batch of music because I've been using the same playlist for a long time. So maybe we'll make the commitment to do that, to expand on the existing music playlist for the channel within the next week. Hopefully we can do that. I would like to. But most of the time, people just give me a hard time about the music. I like the music because it gives me something with the tempo. And I really, really enjoy that when I do my live streams. Welcome into Gizmalian. What's up, dude? Good to see you. The Pawns in the house. We got Warrior Guild. I think I already said hi, but hi again. Welcome into Grog. Welcome into Days D. Says, don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Do it. What's up, Days? Good to see you, man. Let's go. Bob's Pocket Knives in the house. What's up, Bob? Welcome in. Doc Duck, thank you for being a channel member, sir. Good to see you. Imball, what's up? He says, Brass Kaiser Sheepdog with 3V is my main user. Carry it the most. 3V is such a good blade steel. I really like 3V. It's not stainless, but that's fine because I live in dry Idaho. It's very dry here in the Treasure Valley. Those of you in Idaho already know exactly what I'm talking about. Gizmalian says non-captive pivots. Ooh, that's another one. That is another one. Grog says, I agree. I would never buy a knife that has a wire clip. I don't let it. The good news is that there are wire clip replacements out there that I do like. I do like this from Lynch Northwest. I do like the Rips Garage Tech wire clip replacement. There are options. So if I love the rest of the knife, I'll just suck it up and buy the wire clip replacement. I know. It really is a deal killer for some people, and a lot of people. If you look at my Instagram post when I posted a video of my Spyderco Swish buoy with one of these clips on it, I had 2 or 3 people who are like, "Oh, I love wire clips. How dare you? It looks way better with the wire clip." And for the life of me, I tried to look at it objectively and be like, yeah, wire clips are great. No, listen, if you like wire clips, I want you to know that this is not a condemnation of you and I'm not making fun of you. My brain is not capable of seeing how a wire clip looks better than a 3D milled titanium pocket clip. I just can't. I just can't. I try. and I can't. I'm not capable of that. Welcome into Ian Coates. He says the least popular knife design element is $500 plus knives that run on phosphor bronze washers. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Sebenzas are still riding strong. There's a number of really popular American-made knives running on phosphor bronze washers over the $500 price point. So, I mean, I love my Umnumzon. That's a $500 knife running on washers. Gonna have to disagree with you there, but it's good to see you regardless, Mr. Coates. Welcome into Ian. Welcome into Fire Breathing Hamster and Paul Mills. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Sierra Rick says, Rolls, evening, happy weekend. I'll be lurking a bit. Dude, lurk away. We're going to be here. Grog says, I'm talking about the wire clips that look like they are made out of an old school metal. I mean, listen, I've replaced wire clips so frequently that I have 3 of them on my desk right now. And they're not on the knives they originally came with. You know, like, but I could tell you, wait for it. I think I'm going to go ahead and say this is Sage 5, Sage 6, and Swish Bowie. Like, these are, it just feels like a cop-out to me. Like, yes, they function fine. They function totally fine. But they get under my skin. Welcome into Sever 7. Welcome into David V. What's up, David V? Ian says, I was joking because I love CRKs. I know you do. I do too. I really want to get a Sebenza this year. I need to do that. Like, I love my Umnumzon. I feel like I need another Chris Reeve knife in my life. I really do. Lone Star says, my vote is for T6 screws. Ooh, that would be another one. Let's check in on the poll real quick. The poll is, which knife design choice do you least like? And the 4 options that I put up there are speed holes, wire clips, full serration, and Persian style blade / recurve blade. So far, the overwhelming winner of this, as far as the least popular knife design choice, is full serration. Full serration. People hate full serrations. But if I were to, maybe we'll do a couple rounds of this. Should we do a couple rounds of this? So this is round 1, right? Which knife design choice do you least like? So far, speed holes 17%, wire clips 17%, full serrations now at 50%. Persian style / recurve blade is at 15%. What if we were to do another round? We could do like tip down carry. We could do T6 screws and non-captive pivots. We could have a championship. You know, it could be bracket style. It might be fun. I don't know. I might just leave it. I might just let this current one run. I thought that was a good group. Warrior Guild says, I love my Spartan Harsey folders. That's another one I got to get my hands on. David V, thank you for being a channel member for 7 months.
This is Sparta!
All right. And he says, wait, was that a shout out? Nope. Just an anniversary celebration. Right on, man. Cat Scratch already said hi. Ian says, fun fact, wire clips don't focus, but they really don't. There's not a whole lot to focus on. Even the camera doesn't like them. Should tell you something. Hey, David V, thank you for the $2 super. Says, good evening, Knife Fam. Thank you, man, so much for the support. I definitely appreciate it. Welcome into TC Blades. What's up, TC? Jim Cox in the house. Thank you for being a channel member. Welcome in. Grog says, who doesn't need a Chris Reeve knife in their life? I mean, I think everyone, if a Chris Reeve knife is something that everyone should experience at some point. If you are into the knife collecting and EDC hobby and you carry a knife every day, I feel like it is one of those things that you just have to do at some point. You have to get yourself a Sebenza or an Umnumzon or a small Sebenza or an Nkosi. Just do it. Just do it. If you're out there and you are a knife nerd and you have not picked up a Chris Reeve knife, just do it. It'll give you a lot of clarity. Sierra Rick says, I love the wire clip on my quiet carry and Van X, just the right retention. See, personal preference is what it is. It is what it is. There are some designs where I don't mind it. But I've never been like, you know what? I like that wire clip. I just, the first time that I bought a knife and it had a wire clip and it truly bothered me was the Luft Designs titanium Avant, and I loved everything about that knife except for the wire clip. And I just was like, this wire clip feels cheap. It feels so freaking cheap. And I immediately put a wire clip replacement on there, and I immediately liked it much better. The Pond says we should do a poll to see if we should go more rounds. A poll to see if we should do more polls. Grog says full serrations have a place in survival situations. There's no place for wire clips. You know, you might have a point there. You might have a point there. Paul Mills says, I started out loving assisted open Kershaws back in the day. Me too. Me too. One of my first knives that I actually used for work was a Kershaw assisted out the side opener. And I kid you not, the name of the model was Needs Work. It was the Kershaw Needs Work. You know what? I know some people don't believe me. I'll just pull it up here, okay? The Kershaw Needs Work knife. I doubt that they still sell this thing, but I'll show you guys. This is it. This was the first knife that I carried for work. I was doing wildland firefighting. And I did, before that, I did what's called fire camp. It's when they let, 16, 17-year-old high school students help the Forest Service by handling the fire camps where the firefighters hang out. And when I was in fire camp, I bought this knife from my local Ace Hardware store. And I didn't even look at the model name. I saw Kershaw. I assumed that it was made in the U.S. In fact, they say that it was made in the U.S. This was it. And you know what? You got to give it to Kershaw, really, because I abused the crap out of this knife. I misused it in every way that you're not supposed to misuse a knife, but I did. I used the tip as a flathead screwdriver. Shouldn't have done that. I lost the screws in the body. I was missing 2 or 3 screws, and instead of trying to get replacement screws, Kershaw would have sent me some if I had reached out to him. I just took Gorilla Glue. I poured it in the screw holes. And the knife survived like that, and it kept working. Like an old AK-47, it just would not die. But that knife ultimately was awesome during my time doing fire camp in high school. During the summertime, because we were constantly punching through materials. We had to run the supply chain. We had to cut up old fire hose that was burned through to make sure that nobody kept using it. And so that was my use case scenario. That was one of the first times that I bought a knife specifically to use in a work case scenario, and I used the crap out of it, and I abused the crap out of it. It was a good knife. With all of that being said, what were they thinking on the name? The Kershaw Needs Work. Please. Somebody, I hope whoever named that at Kershaw got fired. I really do. All right. Stay hydrated, everybody. Let's get back to the chat. The Kershaw Needs Work. Yeah, assisted out the side flipper. Tip down carry before I even knew how bad that was. Stop it. Stop it, Kershaw. Gosh. DS EDC, what's up, man? Welcome in. Ian Coates has been a channel member for 10 months. Ian, thank you, my friend. He says 10 months, good to be around here for a year. You're getting close. You're getting real close. Louis says, I'm waiting on the Umnums on. Yeah, love it, man. I decided that my first full-size Chris Reeve knife would be the Umnums on, and I do not regret that. I absolutely love my Umnums on. Absolutely. Welcome into DS EDC. Jim says wire clips allow you to see more of the non-show side scale. It's true. It's true. But it's just they look and they feel cheap to me. You know, and for me, like when it comes to pocket clips, like for me to like a pocket clip, it has to do 2 of 3 things well. So the first thing is that it has to function well, right? And that should be a standard baseline for anybody. Plenty of wire clips do this. The next thing is that it has to, aside from functioning well, it cannot get in the way of the ergonomics, because it doesn't matter how good the retention is in your pocket or how smooth it pulls out or whatever. If it screws with the ergos, that's a no-no. So it has to function well. It cannot upset the ergonomics. And the third part is that I like it when it matches the aesthetic design. Believe it or not, aesthetics are important, because if we don't like the way something looks, chances are we're not going to pick it up when we go to decide what knife we're going to put in our pocket. The more you decide to not carry something, the less you carry it, the less you like it. It sits and collects dust, right? So for me, a pocket clip has to do 2 of those 3 things. And so most of the time, the problem that I have with wire clips is not their functionality. They function really well. They don't tear up your pockets. But oftentimes, even if they don't create a hot spot in my hands, just feeling the wire clip makes me think of paper clips, and for some reason that just bothers me. And so usually, like, I only get 1.5, right, of my 3. Like that's the way that I see pocket clips. Because it screws with the ergos in my hands, even if it's not necessarily a hot spot. Just feeling the cheapness of, wire, it bothers me. Does it function well? Absolutely. Does it create a hot spot? Most of the time, no. Some do. I have felt some really crappy wire clips, but that goes for all clips. Grog says, I'm carrying a Kershaw assisted old. And Kershaw is a Kershaw assisted knife on brass washers. It's 6 years old, and Kershaw is real good about sending me free replacement parts. If I had money, I would buy something better, but it is what it is. Look, Kershaw makes great products. Like I said, I bought this knife and I abused the crap out of it, and I'm pretty sure that it's still out there somewhere. I don't even remember what happened to it. But the fact that I was able to take Gorilla Glue and pour it in, the screw hole on the handle scales, and I never had an issue with the scales coming off afterwards, even after abusing the crap out of it, that's a testament to its quality. You have to give them credit where credit is due. Would I go out and buy another one of these? Were they still available? No. I'm not a big assisted flipper guy anymore. Not at all. Louis says, I own a Sebenza 31 UG. The Umnumzon eludes me every time. Every time I think that they're getting easier to get your hands on, I'm wrong, and they just start selling out. Now, if you want to get an Umnumzon, the place where I suggest signing up for notifications is going to be called Knife Art. This is where I got mine. Knife Art is really, really, really cool as far as how they do their Umnumzon releases. I'll give you an idea. They'll get a batch of Umnumzons in, right? So when I got mine from them, they had gotten a batch in. Let's just say, for the sake of example, let's say that they got 50 in, right? So what they were doing was they limited everyone to just one. That's great. Lots of knife retail stores will limit you to one per household. They do it one per household per year. So if you bought one, like I cannot go and buy another one from Knife Art. If I want to go ahead and get another Umnumzon from them when they do another release, I can't do that because it hasn't been a full year since the last time I bought one. And then they do them in, like, they'll release their batch in parts throughout the day. So they'll release like the first 10 or 15, then the next 10 or 15, and then the next 10 or 15. And I saw them continue to put up inventory afterwards. What they were doing was they were essentially getting rid of the multiple buyers, They were getting rid of the bots, and it made it so I could actually get one. It was crazy because like I was just watching their site and I click buy. I was like, nope, already gone. I'm like, okay. And then I'd wait. They'd release another batch like an hour later. Click buy. Nope, sold out. And eventually, like it was really cool because I was able to get one. So if you want to get your hands on one, you haven't bought one from Knife Art, this is where I got mine. I think that it's a hilarious retail name. Just say Knife Art 5 times fast. You'll know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Do they have any right now? Doubt it, but you could probably use this to go ahead and sign up for one. Yep. 1 per household per 12 months. They take that seriously. I would just go on their webpage and hit notify. I can't buy another one from them. I already have. But if you want one, this is how I would recommend doing it. Go to their website. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, but it meant a lot the fact that they kept working hard on making sure that everyone that wanted one had a fair shot to get one. So that would be my recommendation for anyone that wants to get a a Unumzon. I almost said Sebenza 31. Come on, Rolls, come on. DS EDC says, wish I had the Quiet Carry Waypoint Large and the Monterey Bay Knives Sea Lion. You know, the Quiet Carry that I want is not the Waypoint. The Waypoint looks like a good contender for like the tactile rock wall. But the Quiet Carry that I want is the LCT, the Drift LCT, and they have them in stock. They do have them in stock, or at least they did the last time I checked. Look at that. Boom. They're in stock. And specifically, ooh, they got the one that I wanted back in stock too. Look at that. That is just such a good looking knife. And they did it with contoured scales, made in Taiwan, Van Axe steel, $380, 3D milled, machine scales. And you know, like the Quiet Carry 9 is one of my favorite knives of all time. It is what I like to call the cheat code. The Quiet Carry 9 is an absolutely amazing knife. The quality is outstanding, and it is far better than a lot of knives that cost twice as much. It's the only knife model that I've bought from Quiet Carry, but I've bought it twice now. So the LCT is... I need to make this happen. I need to make this happen. I need to get one of these. I love the knurling. I love the fact that they have the thumb hole right here. Look at that. No Torx heads showing on the show side. That's cool. So it's very minimalist. And this is a knife that's truly meant for like saltwater ocean use. First of all, Van Axe Super Clean is one of the most corrosion resistant steels out there, period. The lock bar insert is made of LC200N and a material called Zfinite. I don't know how to say that. And I don't even know what that is, but I know that it's highly corrosion resistant. Titanium, obviously highly corrosion resistant. And this is a full-size knife. 7.8, 7.79, we'll call it 7.8. We'll give it the 0.01. You know, nearly 3.5 inch blade. I don't know why it's taking me so long, but I need to get one of these. I need to stop looking at this like ASAP. Full Fire, what's up? He says, just picked up a mini sea otter and it gives me big Sebenza vibes. Ooh, you know what? Let's do this. For the people who are not familiar with Monterey Bay Knives, we'll go ahead and go over to their website. It's for the best. I need to get away from... I really, really need to get away from that Drift LCT before I click add to cart. All right. So the mini sea otter... The mini sea otter. Where's the mini? I'm trying to find it. Where is the mini? WPK, river otter, sea lion. I'm not seeing the mini on here. I might just be scrolling past it though. If I do this, Mini. Yeah, I hit the search function, still can't find it. Are we sure it's the mini or is it just the sea otter? All right, well, we'll check out the sea otter. I don't think that I don't think there is a mini. I think it's just the sea otter because this is under 7 inches as it is. This is not a knife that needs a mini version. This is already pretty compact, but yeah. Okay. I've tried out one Monterey Bay Knives knife so far. It was the cane, and I ended up getting rid of that cane, not because it wasn't a good knife. It actually felt really solid, you know, very American slab style made. You know, it's a knife that wasn't super impressive on the design front, but it was a knife that felt like it had soul, and it was meant to be used and abused and put away wet and run hard. The one reason why, like, the regular cane is also not a big knife. Let's see if I can find it. Where's the cane? Where did they put it? All right. So here's the cane, right? The one that I had the iron weave laser etching, which was really cool. S90V blade steel. The handle scales were pretty slender, and this one was 7 inches long, and I felt like, honestly, I would have liked it a bit better had I gotten the large version, because it was really easy to accidentally put too much pressure on the lock bar. That was my biggest gripe, was that it was too easy to put too much pressure on the lock bar, and then you're just pressing your thumbs against pain on those thumb studs if you did that. Other than that, I liked it. But the Sea Otter looks like it actually has thick, like wider handle scale profile, which might actually be pretty cool. Oh, damn it. Here we go. Back at the Drift LCT. Anyways. Grog says, my first assisted Kershaw was the Ken Onion Blur non-serrated. It seems to be a popular first for a lot of people. I must have missed the memo. I got the one that needs work. Ian says, Roll doesn't mess around. I mess around just a little bit. Jim says the MBK Rosalinda is the best looking. Yeah, it's a good looking knife. I do like the Rosalinda. It's not American made, but I've only heard good things about it. Let's see, can I pull it up? Where is it? The Rosalinda. I don't know. I can't find it. It's okay. Full Fire says the Sea Otter I have is MagnaCut as well. Very nice. I wonder what they target on their MagnaCut. What do they target on their MagnaCut? Does it say on the listing? Here, we'll go back. Does it say on the listing? No. So we have no idea what their HRC target is. I like to know what it is on MagnaCut, not because I condemn anything below, you know, a certain point, but because you get the steel gives you drastically different properties at, say, 60 than it does at, you know, 65. So I really wish that we could get some HRC targets on these. Welcome into Don Farmer. Don, what's up, man? Thank you for being a channel member. Welcome into Rat King. Says the title of this stream has caught my interest. Well, make sure to check out the poll in the chat. The poll in the chat is, which knife design choice do you least like? We've got speed holes, wire clips, full serration, and then Persian / recurve style blades. Right now, the runaway least favorite it's got to be full serrations. People apparently are not a big fan of full serrations. And you know what's funny? I was on the cesspool called Reddit. For those of you who know, you know. Reddit is a cesspool. And I was on it was called, like, what's the popular knife Reddit page? It's called like Knife Club, or maybe it was Knife Swamp. I don't know. But I mentioned something in the comments, like, cause somebody was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got one. And they were showing off a microtech with full serrations and I was like, well, I'm not surprised because the full serrated version of microtechs are always the very last one to sell out, if they sell out at all. And I had like 10 people reach out and be like, no, you're wrong. I love full serrations. Like, well, I found the niche. I found the demographic of people that love full serrations. They're all on Reddit. Every last single one of them. And you know what? Like, it's fine. Serrations are great. I think that a lot of people dislike them because, like me, not a lot of people have all of the implements that it would take to sharpen them or the time. There's something that's nice about, you know, getting a knife like this and being like, yeah, you know what? I can use this. I can use this. I can dull up the edge and then I can put it on my sharpening system and, you know, I can get an edge back. With full serrations, it's kind of like, well, it's time to get a new knife. I mean, how many people out there actually have the right tools to sharpen serrations? I know some people do, but it's not a large amount of people. Sierra Rick says rolls, thumb studs, or an opening hole if you had a choice. I like both of these, but if I had a choice, I would go with the deployment hole. I mentioned it earlier in the live stream, but there's a very good reason for this. The deployment hole is a superior design choice for deployment over a thumb stud for a couple reasons. The first is that you don't actually have to add anything to the knife. You are in fact taking something away. So there is a little bit of weight reduction there. The second reason is that it's going to make it so you don't have to put something in the way of the cutting path, which is great. The third reason is that you don't have anything to remove in order to be able to sharpen the knife. Oftentimes with thumb studs, depending upon the placement, you have to remove the thumb studs or you just end up not being able to sharpen the knife, specifically on a guided sharpener. Even when you are sharpening, like, let's say by hand on a stone, specifically on thumb studs that stick out a little bit further, you know, if you take that angle to a lower angle, you run the risk of just like starting to shave off pieces of your thumb stud, right? So I'm not a thumb stud hater. I've got plenty of knives that are thumb stud only, like my Quiet Carry 9. I absolutely love that knife, and it's a great deployment option. But if you're going to ask me which one do I like better, the deployment hole is the superior design, 100%. Whether that is the Spyderco hole or, you know, a deployment window, for a number of reasons that I just stated, I would rather have an opening deployment hole than a thumb stud for those reasons. Also, you know, not for nothing, it's just less material. Like you don't have to add anything. You get all of that advantage by taking something away. And I think that that's actually rather cool, but that is just my opinion. Jim says, I knew you could sharpen serrations. I the moment I said that, I'm like, you know what? Jim is the guy in the chat that has the implements to sharpen serrations. You have their cylindrical files, right? And you have to get different gauges. I think 2 different gauges for most serrations. It says, I can sharpen serrations, just use a tapered diamond rod and have a lot of time. It sucks. Yeah. Listen, serrations are amazing for being able to power through something. You know, whenever you see a survival tool, like whenever you see the knives, they're like, you could cut through a seatbelt with this, and it's serrated. It's like, yeah, no shit, because you are literally just you're sawing through it with these razor sharp saw teeth. So it makes sense, but I don't buy serrated knives for the pure reason that I don't have the implements to sharpen them or the desire to sharpen them. And so what that would mean is the moment those serrations get dull or they stop performing very well, I have to replace the knife, you know, and that bothers me. With something like a plain edge, you can sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen, and the implements needed to sharpen a plain edge are, you know, readily available. Most people know how to use them. It doesn't take forever and a day, and you don't have to throw the knife away to get a new one. Sierra Rick says, you all keeping your eyes on DLT's 15 15 days of Blade Show? I have not. Let's go ahead and check it out real quick. And very soon, guys, we'll go ahead and get into some pocket checks here. But 15 days of Blade Show, daily drops. Day one, they did the Demco MG 8020 and the 8020 XL. What? And that's happening in 2 days? Bananas. Whoa, it's $850. That is hefty. They're going to have a 3V 8020 shark foot. What? 8020S. See, this is probably like I've wanted a American made Demco 8020 for a long time. This is probably what I would do. I'd probably go ahead and get one of these, you know, the less expensive ones for like $450, and then buy some replacement scales to get it to titanium. It's probably what I would do. This is the S, which means that it should be the slim version, right? Right? I think so. That's cool though. So this is the first one. They're 15 days of Blade Show. It makes me wonder what's going to be after this. Like, they're coming out strong. Or maybe it's just better to go ahead and get one of these, right? Here's titanium. MG 8020, textured titanium 650. Assume $200 for a new set of titanium scales for the $450 one. No wonder people just buy this when they can. That makes a lot of sense. That's cool. Cool. Something to keep your eye on if you guys wanted a full-size Demco 8020. That's going to be dropping in 2 days on the 30th. 2 days, 2 hours, 15 minutes. So that means that 2 days, 2 hours, which would be what? Midnight on the 30th? Is that what they're doing? That might be what they're doing. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. That's pretty fun. What about drops? Shirogorov, the Q95 Ursus. Is it really a drop when it's been in stock for forever? Ooh, they got an F95. I do want to get my hands on a Shirogorov. I feel like I've been missing out for a long time. For some reason, they went from being massively popular to all of a sudden people are just like not happy with them, or they've lost popularity. If you didn't know this about me, I don't care. Like, when I want something regardless of whether or not that's the popular thing to do at the time. I really like this texture pattern. And I also really like what they did with the pocket clip right there. Having the pocket clip right there so that it should be easy in and out of the pocket. It's overhanging 50-50 on the lock bar and the lock bar cutout relief, which is kind of a cool little design quirk. Chromax PM. I don't know anything about Chromax steel. 725. It is flipper only, but it wasn't that long ago that people were like, oh, the Shiros flip the best out of everything. And now people are like, just buy a Herman. Wicked Dream says, if you ever cut a grape with full serrations, that grape wish it was a berry. Jim Miller says, I carried a Carson M16 with partial serrations. Also, I come from a time when a real knife user had to sharpen regularly. Incidentally, sharpening a recurve sucks. I would rather sharpen a recurve than sharpen serrations. You know, because sharpening serrations is like sharpening many little recurves. Hey, welcome in, man.
This is Sparta!
Lone Star says, it is a button-actuated internal plunge ramp mod located nearest the end of the triad lock. Allows the triad to be opened with a button instead. What are we talking about? That sounds really interesting. I feel like I missed a lot. Lone Star says, serrations are on one side only, similar to a chisel grind. Easy to sharpen as are recurve, even Chris style. I mean, you just have to have the right tools, right? You know what? Like there are ways you can use a regular, rectangular sharpening stone to sharpen a recurve. You have to hit it with the side, and then you end up sacrificing the 90 degree angle on your stone, which, be that as it may. But with serrations, you have to have the right tapered rods. I don't have those. Jim says Demko's full tie scales are heavy, which I love. I don't mind a hefty knife. A lot of people out there are like, it's too heavy. It's too much weight. I don't mind it. Don says, friend got me an 80/20 jig to 3V custom color. Ooh, that's awesome. Absolute beast. I'm a little bit jealous. Jim says, I handled a Shiro and a Herman at Blade Show. All right, Jim. Well, tell me, let me know. You handled the Herman, you handled the Shiro. What did you think, man? Give us your thoughts. All right. Jim says, you didn't read the last line of that comment. A recurve sucks. Oh, you know what it is? It's that when I pop the chat up on the screen, if the chat's too long, it'll cut off part of it. But let's see. Oh, yeah. It says, sharpening a recurve sucks slightly less than serrations. Yeah. I read it from the actual chat. I might have to work on this because I've noticed that some of the chats have been getting a little bit cut off. So I might have to fix that. Let's see. If I were to... Can I fix that in real time? That's not it. That's also not it. I'll mess around with it later. I've just been noticing that some of the chats have been getting cut off. And welcome into the Maroney. What's up, man? The Matt D in the house. Matt, he says, if I had to pick, I'd choose my Herman over my Shiro. As someone that owns both of them, I respect that opinion. I don't own both of them, but I know that you do. Fred says Holt is better than both. Sierra Rick says rolls, they're all made in the USA, not the 80/20.5. That's what I meant when I said I wanted a USA made one. Is because I had the 80/20.5 that's made in Taiwan, right? The 80/20 is made in the US. That's the difference. So that's what I meant when I mentioned that. DS EDC says, I know it's older, but have you looked at a knife, the knife standards RR3? I have seen it. Yeah. I haven't handled one. I didn't get in on the pass round for it. I found out about 6 months into being in a couple pass round groups that I actually really hated being in pass round groups, because what happens is you say, yes, I want to check out this knife. And then you sit there and you wait for everybody to get their shipping in order. And then they have it for 10 days. And then it takes another week after they have it for 10 days to get to the next person. And then another week and another 10 days to get to the next person. So when there's 20 channels that all want to check out the same knife, depending upon where you are, even if you're higher up on the list, you end up waiting 6 months to check out a knife. And for me, it's it just wasn't for me. So I had the opportunity to check one out in a pass round, and I ended up being 15th in line. And I said, you know what? I'll pass. The knife standards knives are really, really cool looking though. I'll show you guys. If you don't know, knife standards, the RR3. Look at that. That's a really good looking knife. Really good looking. Very classy. I like the way that they have the chamfering right there with the carbon fiber insert. That's really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of wire clips, but I already ranted about those. And it's not just the RR3. It's got some really cool knives on here. This is the Station fixed blade. That's cool. It definitely gives off kitchen knife vibes, but that's cool. The RR Station Express was one that tempted me. I very nearly just bit the bullet and bought one of these. But I know that everyone who has tried a Knife Standards design knife has really, really liked it. So not for nothing. Warrior Guilds, what's up, man? He says Heretic Medusa with solid tie scales is a beautiful brick. I love it. So I want to get my hands on a carbon fiber Heretic Pariah button lock. I really, really do. I like the Heretic Pariah manual button lock in G10 that they sent me to review. After reviewing that one, I want one of the full carbon fiber variants. I'll show you guys. Hold on. You might be able to actually get one on DLT. Let's do this. Heretic Pariah carbon fiber. Yeah, they got a couple. So this is the one that I really want. I love the G10 version. The G10 version is really good. I can't help but want it in the carbon fiber. And you know what? On a knife this big, I think I might actually prefer going with the carbon fiber over the titanium. On something like the Medusa, I've seen a lot of them that were the aluminum handle scales. Heretic Medusa titanium. Of course. All sold out. Of course. Wow, they had that one was $586. Pretty good price. Do they still have them in stock at NC Blade? They might. Heretic Medusa titanium. Ooh, they've got them in camo carbon fiber. That's freaking cool. That's got to be the auto, right? Is that an auto? Yeah, automatic. Makes sense. Auto. Manual. I swear I've seen these, the titanium. Heretic Medusa titanium frame lock. Blade HQ. Hey, Blade HQ has them. There we go. Got a couple different ones too. Automatic. Nope, not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the titanium frame lock. Stop it, Blade HQ. Stop it. There it is. Specifically this one with the antique green. I thought that looked really good. $574 for that. In my opinion, American made, full titanium construction. You know, the value proposition on the materials is there. 7.5 inches overall. So it's right there in that nice sweet spot between a full size knife and what I consider to be an EDC size knife. I like that. 6.8 ounces. Remember, I told you guys I don't have an issue with heavier knives. I really don't. People out here complain they're like, it's too heavy if it's over 4 ounces. Let's check in on the poll. I mean, is there a point to check in on the poll? I think the people have spoken. 80 votes. 80 people have voted. Which knife design do you least like? 20% say speed holes. 15% say wire clip. 49% of you said full serrations, and 16% said Persian/recurve style blade. Now, hear me out. What if it was a knife that had speed holes in the handle scale, a wire clip with a full serrated Persian style blade? No one would buy it. No one would buy it. What's up, Gas Station Knives? Good to see you, man. Welcome. Matt says the Morpheus. What am I missing? I jumped right back into the chat a little bit late. Fred the Lug says, I want the 8022, essentially a custom USA made 8020.5 type and size knife. Well, that'd be pretty cool. I didn't know that they were working on that, but I should have guessed. Grog says, this is one of the best chat rooms I've been in that doesn't involve a giveaway. Well, thank you. Thank you. We hang out every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, or 7 p.m. Pacific. Unless I get too busy and I cancel. I try not to do that too often, though. I love doing the live streams. The live streams are great. They give me a chance to do, really natural, organic content and connect with the audience. Speaking of connecting with the audience and doing some organic content, before I forget, let's go ahead and do the pocket checks. What was in your pocket today? Only Spartans Discord. This is a place for the channel members. How do you get in? Become a channel member. Channel membership starts as low as 99 cents. All support is appreciated. Once you are a channel member, you will have access to the Only Spartans Discord. In my pocket today, I carried this guy. This is the Spyderco Sage 6 with the Lynch Northwest titanium pocket clip. Love it. Oh, yeah. And I removed the second detent because, let's be honest, I don't need the nanny detent on either of my smocks or on my Sage 6. So this was in my pocket. Absolutely loved it. S90V Sage 6. Let's see what everybody else carried. The Pons is coming in with the microtech MSI. He's got a Spyderco paramilitary 2, and I'm not recognizing the pen. Did he mention what it was? He did not. That's okay. Gizmillion says the double shift carry. Worked a double shift. Damn. That is the... I know that's a Tempest knife design up top. He's got, of course, the Drift LCT, the one that I want. He's got a Spyderco swish buoy. Very nice. Look at that. That is a heavy user swish buoy. Love to see it. He's got the... which one is this? Which one is this on the bottom? I don't know. And, of course, I'm also going to blank on these fixed blades. You guys got to let me know what you got in your pocket when you post these, because I'm not going to catch them all. Nick T's got the CKF, the Custom Knife Factory Evo 3, the carbon fiber scales, and the Kaiser Clipper with a Renegade Hank. I still need to get my hands on a Custom Knife Factory Evo. I like that one though. I like the fact that you can see like the, what do they call that? Do they call that barking on the titanium scales, where you see that brushed finish, but it's like a heavier brush than what you get out of a hand satin. Love that, especially with the camo carbon inlay. That's pretty cool. It says with custom carbon fiber scales. Those are custom. That's really cool. Dazed, he's got the new Spyderco smock with the larger pivot and some custom 3D contoured Kevin Smock scales. Very nice. Pavelski, ooh, look at that shot. That's a great shot. He's got the titanium frame lock TRM Neutron. He's got a Chris Reeve Sabenza with, is that one of their custom? That's got to be one of the, what do they call that? They call that the custom graphic or the unique graphic. It's got to be a unique graphic Sabenza 31. Very, very nice. Yep. Frame lock Neutron. Very cool. I like it. Great shots too, man. Just beautiful. Chainsaw. He's got the Canic. He's got the Canic Pew Pew in his carry. Very nice. Zippo, Spyderco, what do they call that? It's not the Tenacious, it's the smaller one. We went over this in the last live stream. What's that called? Or is that a Tenacious? That might be a Tenacious with the titanium lightning anno scales, actually. Spyderco swish buoy. Lots of swish buoys out there. I like it. Craig Vincent, he's got the Spyderco Tenacious. He's got a it's the Kaiser Grazioso He's got the Kaiser Phoenix and the Demko. Excuse me. I always do that. It's the Cold Steel 8010. I'm not sure about this one. That one's a code. I failed. Greg McCutcheon. He's got the Japanese cousin of the Para 3 and the Sage 5. What do they call that? What do they call that? It's the Temperance. I totally didn't need to look at the scales to know what that was. All right. Ooh. Is that a Rockstead Higo? Kind of looks like it. Is that a Rockstead Ego? No way. That's cool. That is cool. Which firearm is that? Which pistol is that? Is that also a Canic? Might be. Warrior Guild's got a really cool. I really like this one. This one is a Malibu with the dragon scale pattern milling on the handle scales. I think that's really cool. Like kind of a battle worn stone wash, acid washed finish. Gorgeous. Malibu battle worn red dragon. Yeah, that's sick. I like that. I like that a lot. Bluetooth blades coming in hot with the Herman Dragonfly. Look at that. Ooh. You're not helping right now. I have a strong desire to get a Herman of my own. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I just don't want to pay the tariff to bring one into the country, is all I'm saying. I might have to buy one from DLT if I don't want to pay the tariff. Big Jim, he's got the McNeese PM Mac 2 3.5. Very nice. Drinkwater's coming in hot with one of my favorite knives. He's got the Craig Brown Cortex XL and a Spyderco McBee. I've got a cool video coming up soon featuring the Cortex XL. It's not a review. I'll be sharpening it or trying to get it back to, at the very least, factory sharp after dulling it on a ceramic mug. I teased it in the Only Spartans Discord. It was painful. If you're in there and you haven't seen it yet, go watch the teaser with your volume on or off if you don't want to witness the destruction of that edge. Wicked Dream Designs, he's got the Nefarious, of course. Love that knife. Doc Duck is coming in hot with the Paramilitary 2 Tanto. That's another one of those sprint run blade shapes that I missed out on, and I really wish that I hadn't. What are those? Fluted carbon fiber scales? Are those fluted carbon fiber scales? Looks really good. Is it just me, or does that deployment hole actually look like has been enlarged? Is that an enlarged deployment hole? Right there in the marina. That's a great shot. Love that. Thanks for sharing. TC Blades got... It's a Boker Kalashnikov. That's a cool one. Are those titanium scales or aluminum? That must be a special edition one. I don't think I've seen one with those scales and those accents before. All right. Jim's got the... Thank you, Jim. Jim always helps me out because he knows that I'm going to miss on these. Thanks, Jim. He's got the Asher Barlock Spiro, the Keith the Knife Freak Sax, and the CJRB Mini Pyrite. Very nice. Not a single serration in that mix. Jim's like, I do not want to sharpen serrations anymore. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That is going to be the North Mountain Blades Echo in Purple Haze fat carbon fiber. I actually have one on my desk. New content for this guy coming soon. Check it out. I've got the titanium version though. New content on this guy coming soon. The carbon fiber version looks sick. Super cool. Super, super cool. I really like it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I really like it. If you want to pick anything up from North Mountain Blades, by the way, North Mountain Blade, I have a 10% discount code. RSB10 will get you 10% off at North Mountain Blade. It is not an affiliate code, but in case you guys are interested in getting anything from them, RSB10 will save you 10%, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Ace Paylone, he's got the late 1979 original owner USA made Pacific Cutlery Balisong. Look at that. And a dead fly. What did you do to that fly, dude? What did that fly do to you? I should say. Oh man. That's cool. A nice classic Bally. That's pretty cool. Right on, man. Louis, he's got the Tenable Bomber and the Kubi Socius. Look at that. That's a cool one. Also very cool. Shout out to Midgards Messer. I haven't checked them out recently. Oh, and the Tactile Archer, which is, in my opinion, a highly underrated knife. This is a TJ Schwartz design, contoured titanium handle scales. I would say that the Tactile Archer is a very impressively built and designed knife that a lot of people just decided. The Tactile Archer went the way of Nickelback. I'm going to say it. The Tactile Archer went the way of Nickelback and got a lot of undeserved hate. I really like the Tactile Archer. I think I need to get my hands on one. I've already reviewed it, but I think I need to buy one. Fred the Lug, he's got the SG Knives, Edcraft Design Wisdom Integral. That's cool. Look at how deep that hollow grind is. It's a nice deep hollow grind, and that pivot is massive. It's crazy. And the Sparrow Knives Shrike, unnumbered. Very cool. That's really cool. I really like Sparrow Knives. Greg Shop does some amazing work. I'm going to own one of his customs one day. One day. Gas Station Knives, which that is the what's it called? That's not the Wheeze. It's not the Wee Zephyr. It's not the Zephyr, is it? Wee Knives. That's not there's no way did I get that right? Is that the Wee Knives Zephyr? No, it's not a Zephyr. It's the one that reminds me of the civivi Sentinel Strike. It's not a Zephyr. Bombed it. Sorry, Gas Station Knives. I bombed it. I know what that is. I've seen it before. I know you guys are going to roast me in the chat for that because that is one of their more popular button lock knives. I should know what that is. All right, Ed Durbin, he's got the Berg Blades custom button barber and the Devo nip. That's a solid carry. Super, super solid carry. Devo nip is a great little knife. TC Blade says, this was just to tease you, Sham. Oh, everyone's got a Herman now, except for me. Everyone has a Herman except for me. I've been missing out. One Sneaky B, he's got the Devo Binge, and what is that? That is a Jonathan Styles Smalt. Is that what that's called? The Smalt? Fixed blade? Devo Binge looks great. Jim says, not carried nor used, but opened and flicked a few times. The Pariah red camo carbon fiber, bought as a bundle, but already have a red, white, blue camo carbon version. Buy me, Rollshambo. Ooh, that is tempting. That is tempting. That is one that I want. I prefer the white camo carbon. the next choice would be the red and black carbon fiber. Jim, shoot me a message if you're serious, man. Let me know what you'd sell. Let me know what you'd sell that to me for. Who knows? Maybe we can make something happen. And then David V, he's got the Tri-Stash. Always a classy carry. The Tri-Stash. Button operated frame lock. Really nice knurling textured titanium handle scales. Everything's beautifully chamfered over. Bestech did a great job manufacturing that for my man Tri-State. Shout out to Tri-State. All right, guys, that is the live stream pocket check. We do this every day, not just on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So if you want to join the fun, consider becoming a channel member, and in doing so, joining the Only Spartans Discord. I'm currently working on a set of merch for the channel members. I really want to do some Only Spartans channel merch. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I'm working on designs right now. I'll probably release it to the Discord people first. So lots of cool stuff on the way very, very soon. I'm working on really upgrading the channel. There's been a big demand for patches. Channel patches are something that I'm also going to be working on. Hopefully we can get those in people's hands soon. We got a lot going on, but at the heart of it is the community, my pride and joy, the Only Spartans Discord. All right, with all of that being said, I'm going to skip down to the bottom. Hey, welcome back, Top Dog. This is crap. I fell asleep. I know it's late where you live, man. 2 hours difference, I believe. So I totally get it. Grog says, has anyone watched Bad Boys with Will Smith and the bad guy pulls a full serrated blade Spyderco? That knife looks bad. Wasn't it something absurd like a Spyderco matriarch? Wasn't it something like a Spyderco matriarch like this? Imagine sharpening this knife. Just imagine. I don't want to think about it. It's too much. It's too much. I can't. That knife looks ridiculous. But wasn't it like that? Stonehand says, is Discord an app? Yeah, it's an app. You can get it on your phone. It's also a website. You can go to it on a computer. If you have a smart TV, I think you can actually also access it on a smart TV. It's basically like a forum/chat room. So for those who don't know, the way that this works is that the Only Spartans Discord has different channels, right? So for example, there's a channel for knife drops and deals. And here people can post threads for different knife drops going on. For example, Lynch Northwest pocket clips. That's where I found out about their brand new wire clip replacements. Skiff Asylums, like it's kind of like a community place where you can go and sell your knives. I've sold a few knives on here. Other channel members have sold their knives on here. It's really, really cool. I'm working on a karma system right now that helps track successful sales. This is, of course, utilize at your own risk, do your own research, and make sure you're dealing with reputable people. But everyone in the Discord are reputable people. We've got the live stream pocket check, which is what we go through. Anyways, there's different themed channels, and some of these are forum style. For example, like the knife yard sale. This is forum style. So, for example, someone can post this in the knife yard sale and say, any interest in a Brian Brown Jaeger MV2? And then people can actually react to it, and the post stays at the top. And it has different threads, kind of like a forum. And then if you go to the hangout and chat, this is basically a scrolling chat, guys. This is the general chat. We come here, we hang out, we chat, we BS throughout the day. And then there's today's carry, which is like a running conversation of what's in our pockets, live stream pocket check, so on and so forth. That's the Discord. How do you join the Discord? Let's say you become a channel member and you want to join the Discord. How do you do it? Well, if you go to YouTube, you can go to the posts section, and channel members can actually see the invite link to the Discord. If you're not a channel member and you go to the post section, you won't see this. But if you're a channel member and you go to the posts section of my YouTube channel, you will find a Discord invite link. Click on that link and you're in, baby. You might have to create a Discord account, but it's basically like a chat/forum. Now you know. All right. So I wanted to look at something. What was it? What was it? What was it? Was it USA made blade? I've been trying to stay on. USA made blade has been doing a really good job of getting some cool new knives in. Look at that. They got the new Koenig mini goblin. They got the Nicholas Nichols Mexican blanket mini cleaver. It's wild. Wild. That looks cool. Look at that. 215 bucks, small batch. That's cool. They got some attention to detail. They got the Defiant 7 Talos. Chalet Customs. I'm trying to keep an eye on USA made blade because they just do these really cool drops and releases. And if you're into American made knives, definitely a place to keep an eye on. Not seeing anything ground shaking right now. Oh my goodness, Top Dog has been a channel member for 29 months. 29 months. If you want to know how long I've had the ability to have channel members, it's 29 months. Top Dog has been with the channel the entire time. Thank you so much for riding with the channel, Top Dog. It says greatest live on the knife planet, Rollshambo EDC. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. It's always great to see you in the live streams. I know it's late where you are, so I appreciate it when you can make it. David V says, when are we getting another Rollshambo knife sale? Fair question. I'm going to be doing one probably within the next month. I'm working on putting together a really good one, actually. The last knife sale I did, I focused a lot on budget bundles. I needed to clear a lot of space out of my collection because I was moving. And I got to tell you guys, like I sold, if you were to count each individual knife that I sold with all the bundles, I sold 40 knives. And I still almost didn't have space for the remainder in my collection. So I am going to continue to downsize because I still need the space. Like my new office at my house is smaller than the last space that I was in. So I still have a space problem, and I have more knives coming in every single month, which is fun, but it also means that I still have a space problem. So I'm going to solve that problem by one part doing a knife sale and 2 parts doing a knife giveaway on the Discord. So the sale obviously is going to do more for cleaning up some space in my office than the giveaway, but the giveaway is a fun thing that I've been wanting to get back to doing on a more regular basis anyways. So in the next month, I'll be doing another knife sale. I hope to have some really good ones in there. I would say end of July, latest early August. Ed B says Roll is selling all his knives so he can get a Herman. I mean, I would really only have to sell one, but I'm not getting rid of my Cortex XL or my Koenig Mini Goblin or my Machine Wise Mojave. I'm not getting rid of any of those. Like I could get a Herman. I just don't want to have to sacrifice the knives in my collection that were like top of the grail list, All right. And by the way, it's good to see you, Kodiak Edge. Good to see you, man. Lone Star says, is that polished the verb, noun, adjective in use? What? I might not understand. I might not understand. But for example, guys, DLT. If I wanted to get a Herman right now, I could. Herman. It would not be cheap. Like, for example, on the low end, ooh, like this one looks amazing. That looks amazing. Look at that. Timascus half dress. They consider that a half dress? $2,700. Insane. Insane. Absolutely insane. The Herman B and RWL 34. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. $950. What about, what else? What else? Ooh. Ooh. The Mosaic M398 with mosaic handles. That looks like the Sistine Chapel. Like something you'd find in like an old Roman church. $1,099. Just call it $1,100. Just call it $1,100. This one's cool. It's an Ishtar with what? How do you even get that texture on titanium is what I want to know. How do you even get that texture on titanium? Eight and a half inch blade. Gosh, that's cool. That's so freaking cool. You know what the problem with the window shopping on knives like this is? You start looking at them and you're like, you know what? Maybe I could buy that. Maybe I should buy that. Oh man. Maybe I should. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. All right, I need to stop drooling over knives that cost that much. That's a lot. All right, guys. All right, we're going to kill the music, guys. I've got to go. I got an episode that I'm working on right now that should be releasing. So new content coming tomorrow. New content coming tomorrow. I have recent content that's been released. Feel free to check it out. Keep your eyes peeled. Make sure notifications are turned on. Guys, if you are a channel member and you're not a part of the Only Spartans Discord, please consider joining the Only Spartans Discord. It's one of my favorite ways to interact with the community at large. I will be aiming to have another live stream on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. If you want to hang out and chat, you can find me in the Only Spartans Discord. For those of you who are already there, I'll see you soon. And for everybody else, have a fantastic rest of your weekend.